subcontinent has now defined
In the news, in Lagos, House of Assembly passes VAT bill, anti-grazing bill. And corruption trial, South African court postponed ex-president Jacob Zuma's hearing by 12 days. And Taliban takeover, Taliban interim government agreed to the evacuation of foreigners, calls on ex-officials who fled Afghanistan to return. Details coming up shortly. This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Merciful Ajinomo, and you're watching TOS News 360. Bandits reportedly attacked a commercial bus with 18 passengers on Wednesday evening along Ido Ani-Ifira Expressway in Ondo State. According to sources, the bandits, who shot sporadically in the air to scare off villagers and other motorists, were said to have dragged the passengers into the forest after robbing them of their valuables. The Divisional Police Officer DPO for Iswa Koko Division, CSP Hakim Sadiq, who confirmed the incident, said the case was reported and the anti-kidnapping unit of the police command, as well as other sister agencies, are working hard towards rescuing the abducted travelers. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday promised to assist the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, to deal with infrastructural deficit and security breaches of the state. Buhari, who spoke while commissioning the Mbeda-Onisha bypass road in Owerri, said that he was impressed with the level of development in the state. He said that no society would make any meaningful progress in the face of insecurity and infrastructural deficit. The Lagos State House of Assembly on Thursday passed the value-added tax bill and a bill that prohibits open cattle grazing in the state. The two bills were passed after unanimous votes by the lawmakers at a sitting where the bills were read the third time. The House had held separate public hearings on the bills on Wednesday, with stakeholders expressing support. And now to news across Africa. A South African court has postponed the hearing scheduled for Thursday in a corruption trial of former President Jacob Zuma linked to a 1990s arms deal to September 21st and 22nd. Zuma was jailed for 15 months in July for defying a constitutional court order to appear at a separate inquiry into corruption during his scandal-plagued time in office. The 12-day postponement was agreed between Zuma's lawyers and prosecutors and granted by Judge Piet Coyne at the Pietermaritzburg High Court. Abdoulaye Ba, a senior member of the Union of Democratic Forces of Guinea Party, who was among dozens of prisoners released by Guinea's junta on Tuesday, voiced his support for the army rulers. Ba, speaking during an interview at his home in the capital, Conakry, said ousted President Condé divided Guinea, mismanaged finances, inefficiently managed administration, with the justice system, the defense and security forces at the service of him. He adds that he congratulates Colonel Mamadi Damboya and his junta colleagues if they are confident of their responsibility. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television, and you're watching TOS News 360. Global and business stories when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. 200 Americans and other foreigners who remain in Afghanistan are set to depart the war-ravaged country on charter flights from Kabul on Thursday after the new Taliban government agreed to their evacuation, a U.S. official said. The departures will be among the first international flights to take off from Kabul airport since the Islamist militia seized the capital in mid-August. Afghanistan's new acting prime minister has called on former officials who fled when the Taliban seized power last month to return to the country, saying the group will guarantee their security and safety. Dozens of Palestinians in the occupied West Bank have been wounded in confrontations with Israeli soldiers while protesting in solidarity with 6 Palestinian men who escaped a high-security Israeli prison earlier this week. The men, 5 of whom are members of the Islamic Jihad and one of the Fatah group, were either serving multiple life sentences or were being held without charge. Israeli forces fired tear gas, rubber-coated bullets, and live ammunition at crowds who were taking part in rallies on Wednesday evening across various cities in the West Bank, wounding at least 100 people, the Palestinian Red Crescent said. Now, firearms went off on board the International Space Station after the Russian crew reported smoke and the smell of burning plastic. The aging space station has suffered a number of failures over the years, and a Russian official recently warned of outdated hardware and failing systems. Russia's space agency Roscosmos said the incident took place at 1:55 GMT on Thursday in the Russian-built Zvezda module as the station's batteries were being recharged. According to Roscosmos, the crew activated air filters and returned back to their night rest once the air quality was back to normal. The crew will proceed with a spacewalk scheduled for Thursday as planned, the agency noted. And now to business. Lebanon's caretaker Minister of Social Affairs on Thursday announced the launch of cash cards for over 500,000 families, a planned step to further curb a $6 billion subsidy program that has heavily depleted foreign reserves. Lebanon's financial crisis has been described by the World Bank as one of the deepest depression of modern history. The government introduced the subsidy program financing the import of basic goods such as wheat, fuel and medicine last year. Minister Ramsey said the cash card, which will give each recipient family around $93 a month, was designed to reach those most in need and prevent waste. And now the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has issued new instructions to banks and payment service providers on how to process consumer bulk payment, saying PSPs and banks must now separate all transactions that would normally be categorized as bulk payment upon transition. This was contained in a circular posted on its website on Wednesday and signed by the Director of Payment System Management Department, Musa Jima. Jima said the directive was given to ensure transparency and clarity for auditing within the banking system, adding that the Apex Bank directed banks and PSBs to comply with the directive and all other payment system regulations. And that is TOS News 360 on your digital first Pan-African news network. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com. Follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Stay with us and enjoy more programs on the network. I am Merciful Ajinomo. Many thanks for watching.